first two are obviously the nuts and bolts of the actual testing. The next four are pretty much the guts of how the actual reports are created and generated and processed. These two, it's an either or. Originally we had test reporters for transport database, which essentially provides the HTTP gateway through to the server. But there's a problem with that in that it does have a few additional dependencies that some don't particularly want to use. And as a consequence, Chris over behind the scenes there, he wrote the transport socket, which then talks to a Metabase relay D, which enables you to have a separate machine that runs the Metabase relay D that handles all the extra dependencies, the SSL stuff, etc. And then your smokebot can just concentrate on doing the testing, and all it does is just pass things through the socket to the relay D. So what do you actually need? Once you've got all those installed, you'll then need to register a profile. The profile can be created in a couple of different ways. If you've been a previous tester, how many previous testers have you actually got here? Got a few. So you may already have done this, but you can actually claim your email addresses, and it will create a profile for you and send you a file via email with some instructions on how to install it. And essentially all it is an ID, profile ID, and a secret, so a password kind of thing, just to verify who you are. If you're creating a brand new smokebot, or you've never tested before, essentially you install the Metabase FAT distribution, and then you can run Metabase profile. And that will automatically create the profile for you. It'll actually go off and talk to the server, verify a unique ID for you, come back and provide the file for you, and then you can save it where you actually want. As I mentioned, you can either save this per bot, or you can actually do it on a single user profile. And you'll save it something like in a directory similar to .metabase id.json. And then you need to look at configuring your smoker. This is a very basic view of how we're actually configuring. There are potential other ways of configuring things, but if you're pretty much new or you just want to set things up quickly, this is pretty much the basics of what you actually need to look at. So you've got your configuration idea, so your profile file, and you need to set up where you're actually talking to. So in this instance, we're going to look at the transport Metabase. If you're looking at the socket, there's a slightly different configuration, which if you really want to find out, go and talk to Chris. But essentially, the CPAN Testers, so CPAN reporter. This is all space separated, so be careful of white space. And essentially, it just sets up the transporters. It equals Metabase, tells it the URI, tells it where the ID file is, and that's pretty much it. It will go away. When it starts to run the smoker, it will pick that information up, it will route it through to the right place. With CPAN plus Yak Smoke, it's slightly different because it's using the CPAN plus configuration file, so you just need to add in that little hash into the configuration and just tell him pretty much the same sort of thing. The transport is Metabase, and the arguments are the URI and the ID file. Once that's all set up, you're generally good to go. Start your smokebox, and you should start seeing reports flying through to the Metabase. If you want to just check it, you can go to the log file, and Dave updates this roughly every 5 minutes, and you can get a log of the last 1,000, I remember rightly, entries that have been posted, and so you can quickly try and have a look through to see whether yours have actually been processed and been accepted. If anything does go wrong, you should, in the actual submission, the transport Metabase should actually return you an error and tell you something's wrong. Usually it would be something like the actual configuration is not talking to the right URL, that kind of thing. As I say, it does some very low-level validation of the reports to make sure you've got things set out and laid out right. If anything else goes wrong, it will try and tell you as much information as it can, but at the moment it's very, very limited. Hopefully in the future we can expand on that and give you a bit more information of things that we think are wrong. One reason why we wanted this to be a bit more resilient is we had an incident, was it January, if I remember rightly, one of the testers, Apocalypse, his bot went AWOL while he was on holiday. So it was quite drastic to try and fix. We put some structures in place to try and suppress all his reports. But essentially, this new system will essentially be able to prevent us having that kind of incident whereby somebody's just left the bot to run and it's throwing up odd reports, because now we can have something in place that before it even gets to the database, we have something in place to say, no, this is wrong, just throw it back. So then it's down to the individual user or the tester to look at what the reports are coming, so which errors are coming back, so they can analyse what's actually wrong, whether it's something wrong with their bot, their transportation, configuration, or whatever. So, just looking a bit to the future, I mean, we've already mentioned there's some of the things we want to do, but looking a bit further into the future and a bit more on a wider scale, one of the things that's been planned for some time, back at the end of last year, the intention was to release the administration website in January. Basically because we had the CPAN Testers 2.0 discussions and project plan, it kind of got shelved. Part of the reason was that the way we were actually looking at using testers was very, very different, so that's actually had to be reworked. But essentially this is going to be released sometime towards the end of the year, and it will enable authors to actually identify reports that they potentially think are bogus, and we'll be able to suppress them. This is something that's been wanted for many, many years, because essentially with the SMTP you can't really hide things very well, whereas with the new system we can actually hide things a lot better. And we can push things back into the database so that when the search API is available, you can actually be reliably searching for the things you actually want to know about rather than things that are bogus. It'll also give the chance for testers to look at their reports, and hopefully you'll be able to see a bit more immediate what kind of reports are being submitted, how they've been submitted, that kind of thing. And again, you can suppress them if you feel that a bot's on AWOL and it's not really doing. In addition, with the clients, we want to do a lot more information, understanding the metadata that we're actually providing. So we're pretty much providing everything that's currently in the reports as is, but we want to actually take that out so we can actually do better searching. I think it was Tim Bunt's actually requested being able to analyse the reports far more than what we do at the moment. And this is one of the things we actually want to turn around. And if people have got ideas for other things that they want to do, by all means get in touch. And if you've got some idea that we're not actually metadata we're not actually providing, we can actually try and provide that as well. And then lastly, really, I'm not sure when this is going to be available, but certainly the metadata search API is going to enable people to look at the reports in a variety of different ways. If you're aware of the analysis, CPANTesters.org that was available until a short while ago, that was actually looking at some very interesting information to try and see patterns in why reports are failing. And we want to encourage that kind of thing. So hopefully if anybody else has got any ideas of what they can do with this in the future, we can provide. Just coming on lastly, just to give you a bit of references, thanks to all of these people. Essentially these are the guys that have contributed ideas, code, help, advice, whatever, have made CPAN Testers 2.0 possible. If you want to look at more information, we've got various bits and pieces there. The first one is basically Dave Golden's idea of what the metabase is, trying to explain it in more detail. The second one there is just basically CPAN Testers, how to get involved. A bit more information than I provided here. And then the usual wiki development metabase stuff. And lastly, we've got the mailing list. So if you've got any problems, you want to be involved and get stuck for any reason, the mailing list is there for you to go on, ask questions. There's also an IC channel as well. By all means, just grab on there. There's usually quite a few people on there who can help with advice and help you out.
he worked for AMD, I think,
Right.
and he does performance testing of various things and also gathers statistics.
That would be.
So do you have any plans on, like, I don't know how much sense it makes to gather performance statistics, how long a test suite runs, or whatever?
For some people it could be quite interesting, certainly in terms of the test is expected to run in say 10 seconds and for some reason it's taken 60 seconds. An author might be interested in that to analyse, well, something's actually going wrong here, or I can make this better. So yeah, potentially it's something we could look at in the future. I don't think it's a high priority for a moment. I mean, at one point people were asking whether we could put CPAN's data in there as well, but I don't think that, again, that's not really appropriate. But some metadata may be. Okay. So, any other questions? I completely baffled you. No questions?
Either that or you explained it too well.
Oh, I don't believe that one. Well, yeah.
Maybe it's a big question, but with the report, with already existing reports from the current infrastructure,
Yep.
be imported in the new.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, at the moment, everything's in the CPAN stats database. Is from both the original CPAN Testers 1.0 and the 2.0 testing. But Dave has all the archives of the NTP data store, and when he has time, he slowly pulls them in. So at some point, we'll actually have every single report in the database. I don't know how much he's done so far. It's probably in the region of probably a couple of million. I think he's got through, but it takes a while for him to do it. He's been doing OSCON and things like that. So we'll get done probably by the end of the year. Yeah.
Any test features for certain models, for example, byte order, ID size, font size, and so on. And you told about this platform info, this is exactly about this. Is there an easy way to get a combination of features for a certain module, for certain platforms, OS, and so on? Because I write a module on top of that to analyze it.
I think that would come down to in one of your test scripts to actually output what the platform, what's available, potentially test whether that a particular feature can run, if it can test it, etc.
But now I get it somewhere when the sync is available.
Yeah.
I get it string and I can analyze it by myself.
Yes, yes. I say it's not available at the moment, but it's something we're working towards. At the moment, we have about trying to remember how many it is. It's about 6 or 7 different platform pluggable modules that give us the information we're looking for more of them. So things like DNS, etc. We want to try and get as much information before we package it in. But eventually, yeah, you'll just be able to look at all the information and work out what somebody's running on, what's available.
And another question, why no CPAN username while the GUI?
It's just essentially so that we can identify a specific report rather than an ID, because when we were doing it initially, we had the NNTP and the metadata. We can't have a single ID. Try and talk to them, referencing them both. So we came up with this grid idea so that it was